when we carry pride. Mark 10:35-37 speaks of selfish pride. And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came up to Jesus and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." And he said to them, "What do you want me to do for you?" And they said to him, "Grant us to sit, one at your right hand and one at your left, in your glory." We see the pride that welled up. And even those closest to Jesus, his disciples, see the pride that welled up in them. They didn't understand. They must have not been paying attention. Because Jesus lived a humble life. Constantly serving. When he was wore out, he was serving. Lifting others up. Healing. Doing all of those things of a humble person. And these disciples don't see it. All they want is to be sitting right next to him. They want the place of honor next to Jesus. But here, the second part of our text in verse 11, we see spiritual honor given. The New Living Bible says, "But the humble will be honored." The humble will be honored. Luke 19:17 speaks of being faithful in small things. It says, "Well done, good servant. Because you have been faithful in very little, you shall have authority over 10 cities." Since you have been faithful in the little things, I'm going to give you more responsibility. Isn't that an honor that God would see that? So many times, don't we wonder why God doesn't use us more? Why has He kind of put me on the shelf? Because we're not faithful in the little things that He's given us. We've got so much pride. We want the larger thing now. God, I don't want to do this little thing. I want to do the larger thing. You haven't been faithful in the little things that God gave you. Why would He give you more responsibility? If Christ is truly first and foremost in our lives, we will not seek our own selfish ambitions. We will not seek our own honor and fame. We will seek to please Christ. We will seek to honor Christ first and foremost. And if this is our heart, we will remain humble before God. And that humility will be rewarded in this life and in the life to come in all eternity. So where do we stand? He told a parable to those who were invited when He noticed how they would choose the best places for themselves. Is that our attitude? Now, it may not necessarily be at a wedding banquet, but is that our attitude? I've always got to be, it's got to be my way or the highway. I've got to always have it my way. I've got to have my 2 cents in there. Is that the way we carry our attitudes? Is that our heart? Because that's not a humble attitude. And a great point during the sermon. Those that are truly growing won't have that attitude. It'll be others first. Let me take this spot down here. This is good enough for me. I'm happy with this. Just give me that lowly spot. I don't need that spot at the head of the table. Where do we stand before the Lord? God opposes the proud. I don't want Him to oppose us as individuals. I don't want Him to oppose us as a church. And I believe that He will if we carry pride and arrogance. It's always about me, not about others. God first, others second, me last.